What is up? What is up? What is up, everybody? It's your
buy stuff, you know, with like tools and whatnot. More. 20 eggs left. So, hi, little dude. Hey everyone, it's Brittany with the ChamGirl. So tonight I am going to have one of my friends. His name is Riley, also known as Rattlesnake Riley. So I cannot wait to have him on tonight. Hi, how are you?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself, Brittany?
I'm doing very good. Just hanging out now in the Chameleon basement.
Nice.
Nice. So you just got off work today?
Yes.
I think. So is that with Toad Ranch?
Yes. So I work at Toad Ranch. Got nothing really exciting to say besides I work there. I will build all the enclosures, either build or pack them up. So I'm one of the last people that gets to see anyone's enclosure. That then it goes out the door at the end of the day, and it goes to whoever bought the cage. It's really fun.
Awesome. That's so awesome because I knew where you worked before I knew you, because that is where I got a Bearded Dragons, the Baskin hide, like the slate.
Yes.
Hide, which is super cool. Like he now loves it. I got him when he was younger, he didn't use it as much, but now that he's close to a year old, like he's always in that hide, always basking on that spot too.
Yeah, it is biased for me to say, but I do think we are one of the best out there. But the reason why I think I can get away with saying that is because I was a customer before I actually was ever an employee. So I had bought multiple enclosures. I probably bought 4 or 5 before I ever became an employee. And it was mainly due to the fact because I lived in Springfield at the time and the company is based out in Joplin, Missouri. So only about an hour and a half drive.
Yeah,
so I could pick up all my cages. I didn't have to worry about delivery or anything like that. I could just come out and pick it up and go on with my day. And go ahead.
Did they specialize in the enclosures first before they started making like accessories?
Yes. So they started with the enclosures first and then went from there. From my knowledge, like I said, all I do is really just pack up or build. So I don't know any of the nitty gritty stuff because that's not what I'm paid to do. But all I can say is I like the stuff. And if something goes out, most of the time it is UPS's fault.
Oh gosh.
and
we're gonna blame them.
And it's damaged. I've seen some boxes that got returned from UPS and I sent it out perfect, or my coworkers have sent it out perfect. Whoever sent it out, the box was so beat up, I was like, oh my gosh.
That's why we don't use UPS to ship the reptiles.
Exactly.
They're just like throwing that stuff over.
Yep.
You're like, oh yeah, the frustration from that. I definitely thankfully my basking, okay, I don't even know, what is that called that I have? The basking
hide.
It's just baskin hide. That's what baskin hide.
It's baskin hide.
That thing was awesome. Like, and that perfect when I got it, because I was really worried about that slate, because I can see even if you package that sucker really good, if somebody was not careful at the slate, like,
Oh, multiple times. Whenever someone, I don't do that. The basket hides, that small stuff, I don't do those. But my coworkers that do, they wrap it up with bubble wrap, foam, everything, and still somehow UPS will find a way to break something.
they're like, if they see all the fragile, they're like, challenge accepted.
I think that's what they do.
That's why I don't use them for any shipping of reptiles.
Yeah.
No, it's like handle harmless, non-venomous reptile. That's why I think they probably. Sorry, it's just
probably they would. Who knows?
So I see you kind of like, when I look at your social media, I see you do like a lot of educational posts. So
I try to. Yes.
I think you do a very good job with it. Are those a lot of the stuff I see, like, they're not necessarily your pets, are they?
A lot of them are, some of them are not.
Okay, because I saw one was like more recent that was not.
Yes, there's a couple that more recent that I do not own. I went to the drive-through zoo in Stratford, Missouri, and I did something recording there. I know the marketing manager there. He's a friend of mine. And I also like to go out road cruising, especially from where I moved now. There's a whole bunch of gravel roads, so I like to go out on those gravel roads and see what I can find. I haven't found anything so far except for a rat snake, and I'm really hoping for some other things. I really would love to find a bull snake because I've never found a bull snake before. That's one of the last snake species here in Missouri that I have not found.
Really?
So, yeah. Don't know why I'm so unlucky with them.
What is the coolest Missouri species that you have found?
I would say the timber rattlesnake, just because of how I found it.
Oh,
it was, I was driving down the road. I was going relatively quick because I was just trying to get to the next place because I have never found a snake in this specific area before, or anything, in matter of fact. So I was just going driving right on past, and what I like to call snake sticks that just are in the road, and you think, oh, that looks like a snake. Then you stop, it's not. That's what this timber looked like. It just looked like a normal stick. Then I stopped and did the double take. Big old female timber rattlesnake just right there on the side of the road. And I'm like, all right, this is stupid cool. Because the week prior to that, I was at the St. Louis Zoo, and I said, I saw their timber rattlesnake, and I said, I am going to find you. I'm going to find one of your cousins out in the wild. And then the following week, I found one.
I'm going to find you.
Yeah.
You found him.
I did. I was so happy.
How big do they get?
I'm not sure on the max size, but the one I found was at least 3 foot.
Wow,
and probably that big around. She was a massive girl.
Oh,
and I was out in the middle of nowhere, so if I would have gotten bit by her, I would have had a hard time getting back home.
Did you handle her?
No, I scooted her off the road with my hook, but I was still trying to be as safe as I could because I've messed with copperheads, I've messed with pygmy rattlesnakes, and I'm comfortable with them. But just how big she was, and that was my very first big rattlesnake. So
how toxic are they to us? Their venom.
I would imagine. I'm not too sure on the venom, but I know the venom yield from how much they can just pump into you in a single bite. That's what would knock you on your butt. And I don't remember what kind of venom they hold at the moment off the top of my head. But yeah,
I know it's so confusing. I mean, it's interesting. I haven't taken the time to learn it all, but the different types of venom that different snakes will have.
It still confuses me. I've only been in the hobby for 7 years, and I've only gotten into venomous the last maybe 1.5 to 2 years since working with my coworker. And he's taught me a lot. He's kind of my mentor. I call him my mentor, and he kind of just grumbles at me. but that's how he shows his affection, I guess. I don't know.
Crumbles.
Yeah.
That's the best affection. It's like if they're like deep down proud of you, but like, I don't want to admit it.
Yeah, exactly.
Mentor.
Especially with all the old time venomous keepers that I know, personally know, they're all kind of like that, because they're still of the way of nobody really should be messing with these guys, even though that they did whenever they were our age. So it's just like a weird thing of, well, we could do it because we weren't dumb, but you guys can't do it because of whatever reason that they come up with. Thankfully, my coworker isn't like that, but he still makes sure I know what would happen if I got attacked by something. So I do appreciate that.
You just have to be responsible and aware of like what you're, especially when you're posting a lot on social media. In my opinion, now I don't really mess with any hots or anything, but I like them. Like,
yeah,
I think they're super cool. When I was a kid, I would be so silly. Like, I mean, God. Yeah, if you want to talk about the few times like I actually got like my ass whooped by my parents, it's like when I caught a copperhead in a water moccasin when I was like 11. Like I was like, "Hey mom," like I had wrapped around my shoulder, like I had like its like head like gripped in my hand like this, like real tight. I'm like, this is what Steve Irwin did, you know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she.
So my parents are kind of thankful. They had a rule in the house because my dad is terrified of snakes, my mom is terrified of spiders, but my mom is fine with snakes and my dad loves spiders.
That's
so they had a deal of if one brought one animal into the house, the other person would bring the other. So pretty much growing up, I never had any experience with any kind of reptile. And it wasn't until, and I remember the episode, but you brought up Steve Irwin. But I remember the episode when Steve had the inland taipan just right next to his face, right next to him. And at that, all the way up until that point, I was probably 9 years old whenever I watched it. I was terrified of snakes, terrified of them, didn't like them, could care less for them, could care less about reptiles, ironically.
That is very funny.
Then he showed, or I saw that episode, and I fell in love, and I wanted reptiles ever since. I never wanted the inland taipan. But
so him holding like that's the most venomous snake, right? Yeah. So him holding like the most venomous snake, like, yeah, like reptiles.
Yeah, exactly. So
well,
that's where
you saw him next to his face and he wasn't biting him, right?
Yeah.
So that was like the biggest, baddest one isn't going to hurt, but isn't trying to actively hurt him.
Yeah. And that's kind of where I was like, well, maybe they're not that bad after all. Then fast forward until after I graduated high school, and whenever my parents could no longer tell me what I can and can't have in their house, that's whenever this all started about 7 years ago.
What would they not have? Like, what do you have now that they would have freaked out about?
My parents currently freak out about my about 7.5 to 8 foot boa constrictor.
Oh yeah.
She's bit me once, but that was because I was trying to do a funny video of someone else that I follow on Instagram, where she will hold up her snakes that are a lot nicer than this boa and up to the camera and kind of just all pretty like and everything. I was trying to mimic her and just kind of make a joke, pointing a little bit of fun. And in response, the snake bit me because I was being dumb. And then since then, my parents are like, yeah, no, you need to get rid of it. Get rid of it. Still haven't gotten rid of it.
You said my baby.
Yeah. It was my fault why I got bit, so.
Like, no, my folks, just so you can like kind of understand like where they're at. It's when I got my Kenyan sand boa, it's a male, like not gonna get big at all. And she like, once they found out I got this snake, my mom's like, aren't you ever worried about it getting out of its enclosure and just like waking up to one of your kids like gone? And I was like, no. She's like, you had a boa constrictor? I was like, Mom, here, there's a whole bunch of different types, so let's educate you today. And I'm like, this guy's gonna get like 15 inches longish, something like that. Like, Joe, you
not that big.
yeah, he's almost a worm. You
Yeah,
have to worry about him doing nothing.
exactly.
But that's
No, my
like,
parents worry about
they
that.
are like, they come down here and they're like, what? Like they see all these lizards and they're like looking at me like, there's something wrong with her.
My dad just looks at the ground and is like, oh, I can't believe this. Because both of his brothers grew up keeping reptiles.
Oh,
And my dad was the only one that wasn't, and he thought it was just dumb. He's a dog person. Like, that's all. If he could have dogs and only dogs, he's fine with that. But both of his brothers, and he blames both of his brothers for why I like reptiles so much and why I have so many. So
totally. They're all amazing, dogs and reptiles.
Exactly.
You can have them both.
Exactly.
Cats and reptiles, meh. As I'm staring at the one looking at me down, she's at the top of the stairs, just staring at me, like very creepy too. Like,
Yeah,
that makes me a bit nervous, but
yeah, that's what my cat does too every once in a while.
Stares at you. Just
Yeah,
like,
stares at me. And I'm like, would you leave me alone, please?
She wants to come down here. She's not supposed to come down here because obviously,
Yeah.
mesh enclosures, cat, don't mix at all.
No, I had a very, very bad experience with that with my Chinese water dragon. Completely fine. He's completely fine. But my cat loves to lay on top of the enclosures.
That's his thing. That's what she wants to do.
Yes. And my cat jumped up there and did that. And this was maybe 2 years into me keeping reptiles, so still brand new. I was green beyond belief. Had no idea. I knew a little bit, but not that much. Cat jumped on top of the enclosure. Water dragon fell into the water and was just paralyzed. I didn't know that was a natural behavior of what they would actually do in the wild. If a predator comes and tries to eat them, they jump in the water and just act dead.
Smart.
Yeah. Brought it to the vet. Vet said, completely fine. Nothing to worry about. But because my cat did that with the screen enclosure, I now know that is now the reason why I get PVC and only PVC or wood. Because, yeah, I just do not want to replicate that again. I don't even get like the Exoterra with the screen tops. I've got one for my crested geckos, but hopefully by the end of the year, I'll get another cage or enclosure for my cresties.
I found an awesome cat deterrent. I'll have to show you it.
Okay.
I look kind of nuts when you come down my stairs. I wish there's a way I could show you all. Honestly, it looks very questionable now that I'm looking at the thing that I've like built per se with these cat deterrents, but it's like plastic squares or plastic spikes on the side of it.
Yeah. That's smart.
So, well, it goes down my entire stairs and blocks so it's like these pokey like plastic spikes, like right out there, and she doesn't want to. It's the way they feel. So if the cat steps on it, they're like and they don't like the way it feels. So you could put it like at the bottom of your enclosure, like in front of it, like on the ground, like several of them. And unless they're extremely determined for some reason, just like hop on top of the enclosure, usually that will just like freak them out. Just because like we are limited, like they have those like sprays that don't hurt them, but like the smell of it makes the cats like go away. But we can't use that around reptiles.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to risk it. Maybe you can't. I wouldn't want to risk it.
I wouldn't risk it. They're just so sensitive.
Oh no, they are. And so I saw these things, and I'm like, huh. And so like I straight like redneck duct taped them to like the stairs. So like it looks very like questionable. Like if you didn't really know me and you just saw my stairs coming down to the basement and just saw like this duct tape with like dangerous plastic like pointy things, they're like, what the actual F is going on? So what all animals do you have? And when you take up herping, do you go local or do you travel pretty far?
I stay local most of the time. I've tried to go down in Florida, but it was just so late at night because I was at Animal Con for the last 2 years. And by the time I finally decided to leave, it was already 12 o'clock at night. And all of the people that were going out to go road cruising had already left. So I was like, well, I would love to have gone out with all the Florida guys and
that was
gals,
fun.
and they show me actually where I should be going, but they were already all gone. So I was like, well, I won't go. Hopefully either this year or next year I will go
That would
and
be fun.
actually go and travel and go and catch some other thing, non-native things that I would see normally around here. But yeah, I stay local.
What animals do you have?
I've got quite a bit. So I've got, I started out kind of as everyone does, I feel like, before they start to actually find what animals they like to actually work with. So I've got leopard geckos, ball pythons, a bearded dragon, turtles and tortoises, couple different species of snake, then my water dragon, and then I've got my monitors. And that's what I actually have now decided that I'm going to specialize in, along with crocodilians, mainly just alligators. But I've got an Asian water monitor, a lace monitor, savanna monitors, and Ackies. But I'm going to pretty much just stay with them. I might get a couple more monitor species, but that's probably a future endeavor.
Do you want to breed them, or do you just want to keep a whole bunch?
I pretty much just want to keep and educate, because a lot of monitor species people love, but a lot of the times I have noticed that not all of them get the attention and requirements that they absolutely need. Like, for example,
a lot of interaction too.
For my savanna monitors, temporarily I keep them, or during the winter months, I keep them in a 4x2x2 enclosure. So relatively small for what Reptile magazine or anywhere that you look online would say. But where I make up for it is I keep outdoor, or I have got outdoor enclosures.
So don't they brumate?
Yeah.
In the winter?
Yep. All of mine have. All my savannas just go down by themselves. I've never had to do anything for them. My male does every once in a while. He'll refuse to eat for about a month, maybe a month and a half. And then he'll just pop back up and say, yeah, I'm done. I want to eat now. But then my old female, who sadly passed away a couple months ago of old age, she, every single year that I have had her, and I only had her for maybe 3 years, she would brumate every winter.
Cool. So how long did they usually brumate? Or is that kind of like all over?
She would pretty much brumate all the way until maybe February, and then wake up and then start begging for food. And then that's whenever she would lay her slugs as well.
So is it like a gradual, they kind of wake back up, or is it just like, boop, we're back and we need food?
He would gradually come back, but my male just almost instant. Like,
so you have to have food on deck then. So for a full grown monitor, what do you feed them?
For my lace monitors and for my lace monitor and my Asian water, I keep mice and rats and chicken, quail, shrimp, whole bunch of variety of stuff. I'm also a hunter, so every once in a while, if one of my family members gets a deer for the season, I'll gather some of the organs instead of throwing the organs back out. I'll freeze the organs for 6 months, and that will kill everything, any kind of parasite or anything on it. Chop up the organs, and I'll feed it to all of my animals, and they all love it. And it's really good for them because it's got minerals and everything in it that the animals do need. But you just have to give alternate supplements for them. So this way I can use the organs instead of throwing them out and just wasting them, essentially. And I use it for my reptiles instead that can eat them. And then for my Ackies and my savannas, they get mostly an insect diet. My savannas are the ones that get more of a meat diet, but that's really only for the female, and that's really only whenever I I want to pack weight on her. So if she were to lay eggs, or if she were to have laid healthy eggs, it wouldn't have been an issue. She would have been able to lay them and been fine afterwards.
What is your routine for the Asian water monitors for their water changes?
Oh, for water change, I change it every 2 days.
Oh, wow.
I've got just like a little shoe container for right now. It's still small enough where a little shoebox plastic tubs work great for her.
Small enough for that?
Yeah, she's still small enough. She's going to get something bigger here, hopefully by the end of summer. But I had just gotten this new building, so kind of everything is, all of my plans are on standby. And I'm hoping that she's going to be one of the first ones that gets into a bigger enclosure so I can give her a bigger water space. But in time, whenever it's ready, she's going to get an outdoor enclosure. Thankfully, we live here in Missouri. We're most year-round. For majority of the year, it's nice enough outside where a lot of the animals I keep can stay outside for majority of the year. And I do not ever have to bring them in. Some
you
of them
are in a little, so like where you're at in Missouri is actually like a different growing zone than where I'm at in Troy.
Yes.
Like I don't even know if it's a full growing zone or if it's like if I'm A and you're B. I forget. Are you 6B? I forget what you are. Do you know off the top of it? Because I think
not off the top of my head. I've looked at it before, but not so much. Where I've moved now, I might have to start pulling animals in a little bit sooner.
Yeah.
But I don't think that I'll have to do it as soon as I'm thinking.
When I went to college down in Branson, I personally noticed a huge difference. Like, it's not like huge, like like you're on like in California or something, but like the winters were just not as bad. And when it comes to winter, like even like 5-10 degrees, like makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it does.
It was always humid. Well, I mean, that's Branson, so like we had the lakes and stuff, but like it was so humid, humid. But it was like, wow, like we didn't really get snow, we get ice.
Yes. I'm thinking for my monitors, I might have to bring them in maybe September. If I'm lucky, I can, from where I'm at now, I'll have to bring them in at least by the end of September, but I'll be able to let them go in and outside if I just carry them outside for the day. But I might have to bring them in at night because it might be getting too cold for my comfort. I try my hardest. I know a lot of reptiles, if you let them build up to it, I know a lot of guys down in Florida does this, and they keep animals Central Florida out year round without an issue, as long as it doesn't get below 50. And a lot of their animals are fine. But where I'm at, I just need to be a little bit more careful on when I should pull them in and put them out. I've put animals out, like my Savannahs, I put them out whenever, just as long as it hits 65 during the day, I put them out. And they're fine. And they still eat without an issue. But I don't do it all the time. And I'm very, very careful whenever I do it. Most of the time, it's whenever I'm home and I'm not at work, whenever I do that. So I can keep an eye on them.
Oh, yeah. So you wouldn't want them like freak out and
no,
thankfully, like shock or something.
Yeah, thankfully my male Savannah monitor, he does very well. He loves it outside. I had gotten a new female a couple of years ago now, and this is actually the very first year I got to put her outside, and she is doing great. She loves it so far, and she is very hissy whenever I try to bring her inside.
She's like, no, I like it out here.
Yeah.
How are the reptile regulations where you live?
So where I live out in the country. So out in the country, I can essentially do whatever I want as long as it's not doing, or I'm not breaking any of Missouri's laws. But for city or county wise, I'm lucky I live in a county and I don't live in a city. But my county that I live in doesn't care. They could care less. about what I keep.
Missouri is more strict about native species, I thought.
Yes. So I'm not saying to go and do this, but here in Missouri, you are legally allowed to own up to 5 native animals
But just
of the same species, except for if birds of prey, all that kind of stuff is off the menu. Reptile wise, I'm talking. Not mammal stuff, I don't know about. So bugs, if you want to go and catch bugs, black widows, tarantulas, MDC does not care. I've got a Missouri brown tarantula that I found on one of my snake roads, and I've kept him for the last 3 years. NDC does not care about insects. They care about their reptiles. They care about their mammals. But with their mammals, as long as it's not a venomous is, again, something separate. But if you find a turtle on the side of the road, yes, you are allowed, or you're not allowed. I wouldn't do it. But if you want to keep it for the summer and kind of just, if your kid is interested in reptiles, you can take it home as long as you care for it properly. But I always, if I get a wild animal, I always go and put it back at the end or close to winter, or not that close to winter, just enough time for the animal to find its way back to its original home, back to, or find water, food, a den to den up during the winter, that kind of stuff. So I rescued a painted turtle here recently because it had a giant gash on its carapace. So I was cleaning it up, fixing it, and I'm going to be releasing it hopefully here within this week. Actually, it's doing a lot better. It's eating fine. Its shell is healed up nearly perfect. So I'm going to go and release it back here, hopefully this week, if not next week. But no, don't just go out and catch an animal just because.
So how do they get away with the fairs? Like, have you ever been, like, where I live in Lincoln County, in the Lincoln County Fair that they have in the beginning of July, they have turtle races and frog races.
Mm-hmm.
And so people catch turtles and they race them. It's Mr. Monday. See, he's wanting out, or he's just doing his little silly Mr. Mondays thing.
You can't breed native stuff without permits.
But because I'm talking like at this fair, there's like dozens of people. Like that's the thing. Like we got some of them. I don't agree with it, but they paint the shells and stuff. Like
no.
I'm like, I always be like, what? Where are you located at? Joplin or
no longer? I am now close to Nevada, Missouri.
Nevada. I have one of my old college roommates is from there, and it always just drives me bonkers how we say it. It's
Nevada.
Nevada. Like,
Yep.
Missouri and our weird names for some of our.
It is very weird. Missouri's a weird state in general because we just have all kinds of different cultures just combining kind of thing.
Yeah. I like when you drive on 44 from like from St. Louis to Springfield, and like all the billboard signs. There's like as you start to get like a little out of like St. Louis and then Franklin County, how it's like vote Republican this year, like you're gonna go to hell, and then come visit Uranus for the best fudge in the country. And it's like,
I love that one. If you know Missouri, you know that. You know Uranus.
It's seriously, that's the theme. It's like vote Republican. You're gonna go to hell. Go to Uranus. You get the best fudge. Like, it's like it cracks me up. We're on 44 because it's just I love it.
Oh yeah.
Closer to me than Joplin. Oh, Nevada's closer to Steve than Joplin.
Ooh.
That was a huge
but yeah, I've moved closer to here because this is where my girlfriend lives, and I moved in with my girlfriend. So
Mr. Mondays.
That's kind of fun.
My old fart's here. He's 5. He wants to come out to try and fight the other boys, and I'm like, dude, just chill.
He won't chill.
No, he does. One of them's his own son. When they get older, when they're no longer juveniles, they do partial body sheds, chameleons.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I feel like they're almost always in a state of shedding. So like he just shed most of his head, and now it's the top of his back that's shedding. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like a full body shed where they get nice and like he's 5. He's one of the older boys now. He's like, oh, hello. Oh no, I actually did have. No, I didn't bring you. I did not bring you to the show that I've ended up with you.
No, I met Redline. Correct.
That's one. He's right here.
Yeah.
He's like, I didn't want to come out.
I think I met him.
You did, yeah. You met Redline, his son Kenny Powers, and Big Polly.
Yeah,
would have been the ones I brought to Springfield.
Butch, are you going back?
So my next shows I'm bending at. So I'm going to be doing one in Bloomington, Illinois, not this weekend, but next week. It's like a week and a half away. And then I'm going to Nashville. Nashville, nice. Yeah, in September, the really big one. Mm-hmm. Unless I sell out in Bloomington, so then I don't know what I would do. Oh. Yeah. Got to plug. You always got to plug. No, you do. I get it. Oh.
America's Reptile Expo.
Well, that was an awesome video.
Yeah. I've always loved listening to that video. Whoever edits that, round of applause to them.
I think Steve did that one.
Steve, all right, nice.
I think he did. Now I got my little helix out. I'm really happy about this guy because he's actually a yellow body red bar. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, hot dang. I didn't think he's not fired up. He's in his resting colors. He's like, this is one of Redline's sons. He's not okay, cool. So he's resting now, but you can kind of see his like red and his bars starting to brighten up. But this clutch, super nice. Like his sisters are super nice. Yeah, I love Redline and his bloodline. Like whenever I saw him at the Springfield show, I was this close, but I knew I was about to move. And whenever you're moving with any reptile, it's a bad idea a lot of the time because it's very stressful on them. And second, I know of how stressful chameleons get out, so I just didn't want to bring home a chameleon, have him home for maybe not even 3 months, and then move him. So I was like, I can't do that right now. But I got a really good one with him coming up. So it's with him and her name's Roja, and she's actually she's John Gotti's half sister. So she's from a red body blue bar lineage. All of her brothers had red resting bodies, which is why I got her for Redline. And so it'd be his half siblings. Yeah. That clutch, I have a lot of eggs. That'll be next year though. But that will be, I'm excited to see what I get from that one. That'll be an interesting because this is one from Redline here. So the difference with him is he gets that green turns all yellow on him, and his bars are like solid bright red when he fires up. They lose that little bit of blue that's in them, and they turn bright red. And he's like an actual yellow body red bar, and I'm like, that's nuts. I wasn't trying to go for that, but it happens.
Yeah, still pretty. I love your chameleons. I loved looking at them. They were awesome.
I like to be able to bring. I'm happy I have a very a handful of my males are really chill for the most part, and I can actually take them to expos. I took John Gotti to the one in Sedalia, and he used to bite me. Yeah, Shirley, that will be a really good clutch. I'm really excited for that one. But yeah, John Gotti used to bite me. He's not bit me in a year. I find a lot of them go through a kind of like puberty, like they're like punkhead teenage boys. Some of them do.
Yeah.
But he's cool now, and I could take him to expos. Now, I don't like people like that. I wouldn't touch him. Don't touch him. But
Please don't.
oh yeah, some people though don't listen.
No, that's a big reason why I don't like to bring my reptiles.
Oh.
Or also, you shouldn't bring your reptiles to shows in the first place.
Oh, just like bring them. You mean like when you're not vending?
But, yeah, if not, when you're not vending, but like bringing my reptiles, I've got a couple that I've wanted to sell at some of the shows, but I'm like, man, if I don't sell them, and if someone just comes up and wants to touch, I don't know what that person has touched previously. I'm not saying anything bad about people unnecessary, but I don't know if they have mites that might come and infest my collection because they've touched my animal.
You could have cooties, okay? Like, you cannot just touch my stuff.
No, you can't.
I am a nice person, and I will say the little like I don't even want to say mean. Like, I mean, like at the expo I was last at, I've never had this happen. A lady just straight up bopped, like he's changing right now. A lady straight up bopped one of my chameleons on the head. Like, she went, bop, and I'm like, oh, like it was. She's like, oh, I bet this thing isn't even real. Bop, and I was like,
yeah, yes, it's real.
It's real. Yeah, that was about an unhinged moment.
I bet.
So we were professional, but hot dang, yeah, he's just
so pretty.
He's just starting to kind of like, wait a minute, I'm a boy, like, you know, like getting where he's kind of more confident. He wants to fire up, but he's like, oh no, this is my stick, this is my tree. He's super cool. I'm very curious. I'm very excited to see what he like as he grows, because he's only 6 months old. So
yeah,
we're still gonna have a lot of growth and color. But I wish this camera was. There you go. Kind of. Oh no! You don't want to do that. He said, yes, I do.
It looks fun for him.
They always want to climb up. Always want to climb up.
Yes. So does my Chinese water dragon. He always wants to go up. So he'll climb up to my head.
As far as like your monitors, like which one's your favorite?
Out of my monitors, man, that's hard. I would have to say my male Savannah monitor. His name is Rue. He was my very first monitor. So I just have to give him the star of being my favorite. Just he's the very first one. He's the very first one I ever got to work with. He's not puppy dog tame like how I've seen some Savannah monitors get to be, but he is very well behaved. He's very food motivated, so that helps a lot. He's kind of target trained. I need to get back to working with that, but I had him target trained.
What's this?
So I have a stick and a ball, and I put the ball on the stick, and I pretty much put the ball, on an object. So on one side of the enclosure or the other side or wherever I want, he has to then come and touch the ball. Once he touches the ball, he gets a treat.
Okay, that sounds cool.
I used to work with the keepers at Wonders of Wildlife. I used to help them out for quite a while. And that was something that I learned how to do. Fun fact, the first animal that I helped actually target train was a water moccasin. Yes. I don't
Oh.
know of anybody else that has ever. I've seen people target train rattlesnakes and king cobras and such like that. But I have never
Nice.
seen anyone do it with a water moccasin before, and
That's
I don't think he
crazy.
has either. So that's the reason why he wanted to try, and it was actually successful. He had done it. But that's where I got the idea to start target training. So some of my animals actually are target trained.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I wonder if I could do that with you. Probably not. Oh. So before we get wrapped up, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years, I am really hoping that my content gets better as I grow into it and start to learn more about what people really like to see. And then also, I just want to, like how Steve Irwin and a whole bunch of the creators that I look up to, how they've inspired me to do what I'm doing. I hope that I can help with the next generation of getting them inspired to do what's best for the animals that we all care about.
Yes.
So I hope in 5 years I can get a couple more people over to the side of, hey, let's not kill this snake just because it's a snake.
That drives me up the wall.
Yes.
That drives me up the wall. Like, there's so many other things. More than likely, it's not venomous. More than likely, it's like not going to be venomous. What do we have? Like, how many venomous snakes do we have?
We have
Maybe
5 here in
Yeah,
Missouri.
that's what I was like. So more than likely, the snake you see is not going to be venomous.
Yes. Yeah, we have 5 here, and most of the time, actually, in our area, what you will see most is copperheads, but even then, you'll hardly ever see a copperhead. They're
I've
around.
seen several out where I live.
Yeah, they're around.
But I live in the woods, kind of. So I don't know if that's. But not that. I mean, I've caught them, so I'm not really. I know that they're not gonna like hang around. Ooh, I can't wait for her to come back out so I can come get her. Like, I know that's not how they think.
No.
So like,
the only times I don't approve of killing the animal, but I understand when all these farmers do it because their reasoning is I don't want my kids to get hurt.
Oh, that makes.
So I understand whenever they say that, but I also know of a lot of people that are like, I just kill them to kill them just because a good snake is a dead snake, and I'm like, that. No.
That will even just get me mad. Like, do that in front of me. Like, that will get me very upset. I'm not. That's something I don't advocate for. Well, Riley, I really appreciate you coming on tonight, and the fact that you you had to drive away from your house and sit in a safe parking lot. I'm hoping
it's kind of safe.
It's
no one's here.
Safe. You know,
no one's here.
Commuter lot off 44. Like, no.
No one's here.
But I really appreciate you coming on tonight, and even though like we would love to see whenever we're able to. You don't have that good a reception where you live.
Not yet. Hopefully here soon.
Yeah,
good old Elon Musk will be sending me some Starlinks.
Shoot, we just got Gateway Fiber or whatever it's called out here, and like before that, like it was satellite or like broadband dial-up. Even dial-up was still a thing where I live, actually, not that long ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, I understand. Country life.
Yep.
But thank
sorry
you
about
so
the light.
much. No, hey, no, I appreciate you coming on tonight, and I appreciate you like still like driving out somewhere to like actually like come on too. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you some more, and I would love to be able to do something where we can see your animals too, or just do another live, or maybe we could talk more about all your monitors.
Yeah, maybe. More than happy to come back. So.
Ooh, sorry, I'm all geeking out here. Thank you, Jason. Thank you for watching, Jason and Charlene and everybody else. All right, well, you have a good night, Riley. And Helix, I guess he's gonna say goodbye. Have a good night.